everybody. Talking about hope today. Why am I talking about hope? Given the recent events around the world, George Floyd, I believe the man's name was, in the United States, was due many more years to live. And now he's dead because of ignorance and hate. And the result of that is that people around the world, the whole world, not just in the United States, are speaking up, they're protesting on the street. And that's fantastic. And yesterday I heard somebody say, but what's the point? There'll always be violence at these protests. And we proved that there was no violence at the protest, and we asked, what was your argument? And then we told, but there was violence in Marseille. To which I retorted, of all the protests on the planet, a couple of people got out of hand in Marseille, and we're going to focus on this. That's what we're going to focus on. And then I realized that this person was without hope. And I'm not without hope. And this is not about me being a white person or George Floyd being a black person, this video. This is just about people having hope or not having hope. And I have hope every day I wake up. Every time the sun rises, I have hope that things will get better. When I look at the history of humanity and I see that people who are gay can now get married, people who are not male can vote. Ireland is a republic. People are not being chained up anymore. Progress has been made, but it's slow progress. When I see leaders as idiotic, narcissistic and troubling as Donald Trump, funnily enough, that gives me hope, because I think it can't get any worse. Surely the tide has to turn. When I see people helping old people across the street, or when my neighbours come and give me dinner, without my asking or telling them anything, then I have hope. Yesterday I sat with a family from Mali. They were celebrating the birthday of one of the lads who's 21. So here I am with a 21-year-old and four women in their 40s and 50s who were generous, who were kind, who were loving, who were caring. That gives me hope. See, hope is where you decide to find it and where you decide to put it. And I live a hopeful life. That's a choice I make every day I get out of bed. I believe we're here for a reason, but I don't occupy myself with what that reason is. I'm here, I accept that, and I just try to do my best every day. I absolutely believe in the good nature of all people. There are a few who have taken the reins of power, who've put themselves up for election, and we like idiots have elected them. They're not the people who give me hope. They're not the people who inspire me. It's a long time since I've witnessed a world leader, as we call them, who inspires me in any way, shape or form. But they're not the people I look to for hope. Working in the hospital and seeing these young people that I was working with be happy in their job, carting around dead bodies, that gives me an awful lot of hope. People who are able to get out of bed in the morning and joke and laugh, that gives me a lot of hope. Sitting among my plants here, watching them grow, that gives me a lot of hope. There is a lot of hope out there. And what is hope? Hope is the expectation or the desire that things will get better, that things will improve, that this is not the end of the game, that this is not the end of the day, that my life is not finished at this point. There is more to come. We're at a point in the history of humanity where we've had this pandemic that's made us all be locked up like sheep or otherwise, it doesn't matter, but we did it. And the virus is receding, and maybe people had time to reflect and to tune in to what's going on the planet during those last 2 months. To have a worldwide protest over the death of one man is something that gives me huge hope. And of course it's not one man, there's been many men, and mostly men, who've been killed at the hands of the American police. And that's just, it's not on. It has to change, it has to stop. We have to start looking after each other. And I don't care if you're white or black, or straight or gay, or man or woman or other, we're all just people, and we're all just here trying to do our best. And it's time for us to stop isolating and to stop pretending that we're on our own, and to stop fooling ourselves that we're in this alone, and to stop fooling ourselves that we're individuals. We're not. We're all in this together, all of us. And that includes the idiots and the people who try to do things that go against the grain. Somehow we have to find a way to incorporate them, and include them in our collective, and move forward with hope in our hearts. There's a lady in New York today feeding poor people, Diane Blackwell. She gives me an awful lot of hope, so don't despair. That's what I'm telling you. No matter what your situation is, don't despair. It's just for today. It will pass. There is hope. Thanks for letting me bang on.